real long time. Okay, I think it started. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike, and I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello.
It used to have a little pop-up in the corner of the screen. It didn't do that. That's weird. All right, we're on week 2 of Darkest Dungeon, so let's dive into it. How much have you played this past week here, Moonpeer?
First things first, I want to get a couple of questions out of the way. What difficulty are you playing on?
Radiant, so the easy mode.
Okay, because I'm going to restart this game.
Okay.
Because I've been playing it on the middle difficulty.
Aha, gotcha.
And let me tell you all about my horrible runs where I just keep getting punched into the ground over and over and over.
You're losing money every time. And
I've got like 500 coins to go.
Yikes.
So I may end up... I'm just going to restart it on the easiest difficulty because honestly, this is a very, very punishing game. I mean... Yeah. The Radiant difficulty actually says it's for people with no experience with Darkest Dungeon, so...
Yeah, that's why I picked it. I was just like, alright, it's probably... To me, I likened it to easy mode in FTL, where it's sort of like, alright, this is going to be real easy for the most part, but normal is really hard.
Yeah, and, well, let's just say I probably put about 5-6 hours into it this week. Mm-hmm. And over the course of those 5 or 6 hours, I had about 5 runs go real bad.
Oh, no.
Where... Really?
Louise in the background giving herself a nice little scratch with her bell collar.
There. We'll do this
Take
again.
That off here for a minute.
In those 5 or 6 hours, I probably had around about 3 or 4 runs at least where I lost everyone.
Oh, that's so bad.
Mm-hmm. And it's really bad because I don't know, have you had it yet where somebody gets to that sanity breaking point of like 100 sanity?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, and then they start saying stuff which makes everybody else's sanity go up.
I had a really bad run where someone hit... I brought someone in, I think it was a man-at-arms, and the one time I don't check their sanity before I go, I'm like building my team and everything looks fine, and I just go, and I come in and he's already at 50 when I start.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, I can probably manage this. It should be fine. Everybody's at high enough level here that I'll probably be okay in this run if I just be careful. Like, don't open up anything in the hallways.
Yeah.
And deactivate all the traps. Should be okay.
Just massage the numbers a little bit as you go, and you should be okay.
Yeah, I was very wrong. The very first fight I got into, the enemy surprised my team and switched up all 4 party members.
Yeah, that's
so I'm like,
fun.
I'm spending like 3 or 4 turns just getting everybody back in a position so they can actually attack. And it was the skeleton, so that jerk is splashing me with his wine and increasing. Within a couple of turns, he's at over 100 sanity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going real bad that everyone else in the party was over 50 by the time we finished.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I was like, well, now I have to leave. Like, I can't... He's at like 150. Everyone else is at 50. There's no way after the first fight that the rest of this can go well.
Well, I think at one point I had a guy who was... Like, it was about 12 rooms, the dungeon. Mm-hmm. And he hit the first breaking point within probably room 3.
Okay.
And then promptly messed everybody else's sanity up for the rest of the thing. And by the end of that run, I had lost 3 of them. 1 person survived. Wow. I made it back to town, kicked him out, and tried to figure out what to do. And then the very next run, I realized I really should pay attention to the red effects. Because I had 2 people who were afraid of the light and would get plus 20% sanity meter on any light that's over 75%.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I kind of lost them really quick as well.
Yeah.
Because when you're talking about, like, plus 25 every turn of combat, that's kind of a problem. And then it gets even better because my run after that, I forgot to take torches into the battle with me.
Oh, no.
And then everybody there was gone as well. I was like, great. So I literally just went through and lost everybody who was any good, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm probably going to be restarting the game on the easier difficulty.
But I bet that'll go really, really fast, though, because you know the basics of all of this, and you know how to manage the dungeons and everything. It's
the old tutorial thing where now I can pretty much fly through the tutorial section of it, which is the first couple of periods. So hopefully with that under my belt now, I can actually get in there, fly through a couple of weeks really quick, get some dungeons explored now that I know the mechanics and stuff. It's really weird playing the game on mouse and keyboard because it's like I'm trying to realize what keyboard shortcuts do what. Pro tip, don't shift click things in your inventory because that throws them away.
So I actually ran through a little bit of the PC version earlier today because I had a little bit of free time. I wanted to see how it was. Boy, I really dig using that game with a mouse because just highlighting all of your skills and be able to see what they do without hitting anything is really great. And the Switch version doesn't have it, and I need to look and see if it's an option. But there's no take all button in the Switch version. You have to take each slot one by one, which is fine. You're only picking up like 2 or 3 things from each person, but that would make some of the later dungeons easy, where it's like I'm just scooping up all this stuff. Like I found a secret room. Let's just take everything in here. That'd be way better. Have you found a secret room yet? By the way,
I have not.
So it's really interesting. It only shows up when your team scouts from a room. It'll show up as a star in the corridor between rooms. If you go onto that space and then on the Switch version you hit A, it takes you to a totally separate room that has a locked box. Open that with a key, and it'll have like 2 or 3 things that drop out of it that are each 3,500 gold apiece.
That's pretty useful.
Yeah. So it's really great. And of course, now it's Sunday and we're recording, so this dude behind me is going to start doing yard work.
Well, right? Yes, of course.
Yeah. This week I finally beat the Siren. That was a much closer fight than I felt comfortable with. Because she kept stealing my Hellion.
Yeah.
And the Hellion was doing an incredible amount of damage on my team. So I have to find some way. Because what I didn't understand about the game is you fight all those bosses 3 times.
Yeah.
But they get stronger and stronger as you level up the individual dungeon area. So I beat the Siren, now I have to beat like the sonorous Siren or whatever the next level is. And I don't want to do that yet.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. I beat a whole bunch more bosses, and now that I've leveled up a bunch of my team members to like level 4, 5, and 6, I have like a one team of max level characters. The higher level characters actually don't want to... No, that's the wrong way to put it. They're refusing to do lower level missions.
Interesting, because there's no challenge for them, so therefore they don't want to...
Yeah, they actually say that. Like, the little text box will pop and say, if there's no challenge, how will I better myself? Something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that, but like level 4, 5, and 6 characters, especially when they're at level 5 and 6, the green quality missions, they refuse to go on. And then they really want the orange and the red ones.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I was kind of surprised, which is fun now because I can't just lean on 2 teams. You know, one goes in, you clean up their sanity, and then the other one goes in.
Yeah.
I now have to start, rotating a bunch of my teams and using some of the classes that I typically don't use. Like, I used the Jester for the first time.
They are weird, dude.
Yeah, I sort of don't understand how to take advantage of them because most of their stuff is bleed based, which is great unless you're fighting skeletons.
They're also really complicated because I actually had my first Jester this week as well. Their secondary abilities power up their other abilities. So, for example, he has the grand finale move, I believe is one of his moves. By using his other moves first, you increase the damage on the grand finale move. Like, if you look over his second skill on the tooltips on the PC, it says plus 30% grand finale damage.
Interesting.
So if you repeatedly use his secondary skill and then use that a couple of times, then when you do the grand finale one, it increases the damage output of that ability. So... he feels like a build-up character where you build up his meters and then use one big move on the biggest enemy kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe a good boss fighting. Yeah, because a lot of the moves I have, for the one I have, I sort of went into the guild hall and tried to figure out, based on just reading the tooltips, which would be the best ones. And some of them seem to be like, all right, I'm going to attack and move forward one slot in the lineup. I'm going to attack and move back two. So it's a really weird character.
Yeah.
That and the Antiquarian are both kind of like, these both seem real good, but I don't know. I don't get them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, not a ton. I played probably about another 10 hours this week, but not a lot of crazy progress. It's more just sort of leveling up and trying to get enough heirlooms to level up. Now I can do like level 4 skills, level 4 or 5 in blacksmith.
Yeah.
Which makes such a huge difference because when you move the quality level of your gear from like level 2 to 3 to 4, you get a speed upgrade too, which I didn't realize.
Interesting.
So now there's a lot of battles where not only am I doing more damage and resisting more damage because my armor's better, but I'm moving faster than the enemy is a lot of times. So that was a bigger benefit than I think I was expecting, which is kind of nice. I think that's the thing that I'm really happy with Darkest Dungeon so far, is that the deeper I get into it, unlike a lot of roguelikes, it's not just like min-maxing the stuff you have available. There's more and more stuff that gets unlocked where
it's
your skills are
in the background as well.
Yeah, like your skills are getting stronger and doing more stuff, and your equipment is getting stronger and resisting more stuff. And not only that, but on your team, you're sort of, the min-maxing for me comes in with your party members, where you're trying to get negative effects that don't really hurt you. Like my arbalist, the crossbow lady, she has a bunch of stuff that affects her physical crit chance.
Yeah.
That's not going to matter, so I'm happy to fill up my red slots with that. But my white-yellow slots, those are the ones where all this stuff is going to be good. If something bad gets in there, going right in the sanitarium, kicking that skill out and getting you back on the field.
Yeah, I love the flavor text in this game as well. Like, don't bother tying me down. I'm here of my own free will is a great line for putting
or
someone
like,
in there.
Shackles, really?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, like one of the ones in the brothel is like, let's set up a code word, a safe word now.
Yep.
It's like, all right, that's pretty great. Yeah, I think most people rightly will focus on the narrator as some of the strong storytelling stuff in this game.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like Sunless Sea, I think a lot of the flavor text and a lot of the little stuff, like the reports that you get every time you come back from the dungeon, that stuff is written really well.
Yeah, and you get random things that happen there as well. Like I had one thing where all highwaymen in my party had +2 resolve or whatever for the next encounters because something had happened in town, and it was like, okay, that's weird, but sure. Note to self, take whoever's got a little golden outline along the picture, make sure you take them because they're getting a big buff for the next run.
Yeah, I had one where a Hellion came in and stole 12 of my trinkets, which was all of them. And then the game basically said, like, hey, you need to go hunt them down in the dungeon. And it's a level 5 quest, so I'm not ready to do it quite yet.
Yeah.
But that was a little frustrating when that came a little bit earlier, where it's like, oh, all right, a lot of my people are level 3. Whoops, all my trinkets are gone, and I cannot do this fight yet.
Yep.
Great. So, yeah, but I'm still super digging Darkest Dungeon. I think I think we talked about this last week. I was coming in expecting to enjoy it, and then the deeper we get into it, so we're like, all right, this is actually a really special game.
Yes, definitely. I can't give Alex enough credit for promoting this as much as he did, because he's the only person I've ever heard talk about this is Alex over at Giant Bomb.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do our part 2. We Roguelike, it says so far. Darkest Dungeon, 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
I've not been in the Darkest Dungeon yet. I'm slowly working my way up towards that, but the checklist on the one page actually says, like, you go into the Darkest Dungeon first, second, and third time. It's like, oh, no, jeez, okay.
Well, that's because you know you're going to get wiped out the first, second, and third time, probably.
Probably, yeah. I'm expecting the final boss to be real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. I actually haven't seen it, but expecting it to be gross and incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
So
gross but weirdly cool at the same time.
Yeah, like most of this game in general. All right, that's our episode for this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.